The Canton Fair in Guangzhou isn't just a trade show, it's a stress test because it's huge, really truly huge. And if you go there without a plan, you'll spend 3 days running around without learning anything or doing any business. And the problem isn't the fair or the organization. The problem is you, because once again, you don't have a goal. But if you do have one, then the fair is worth its weight in gold. That means the Canton Fair is worth it. If you have a clear goal, if you have specific products, if you can directly compare manufacturers at their booths one-on-one with the products you already have in your backpack, and if you want to build business contacts in a targeted way, one-on-one, because that's still key in China. In China, trust matters, not Excel sheets. And when should you absolutely not go to the Canton Fair? If you see yourself in these statements, I just want to take a look and see what's going on there. If you don't have a budget that you can spend right away, if you don't plan any follow-up after returning to your country, and if you don't have any terms or conditions, because the Canton Fair is not just a trip for inspiration, it is real, serious, and hard work. So, ideally, if you're going to the Canton Fair, you need to know that there are 3 phases with different themes, and there are halls and zones. And before you set off, before you even plan your trip, you should be clear about which phase you actually want to attend and which hall you need to go to. And if you have suppliers, which booth number. And then you can make yourself an Excel spreadsheet and map out exactly step by step what your route through the Canton Fair will be. And if you think you're physically fit enough to walk 20 kilometers in a day, and this isn't some kind of pilgrimage, you're having conversations, you're talking, you're taking in millions of impressions, and if you can really handle that physically, then you're truly ready for the Canton Fair. It's also important that you schedule appointments. So if you already have suppliers that you know will be at the Canton Fair, and you know where they'll be and during which phase, and you're really willing to go there, then you need to make appointments so that first you can meet your contact person directly, and second you can collect all the gifts. Because I'm going to let you in on an open secret right now. Of course, if the supplier knows you're coming, they'll bring you gifts. Gifts in the form of samples of products they really want to show you. Innovations, truly exciting things that you can talk about together. And that only happens at events like these. You can't do that by email or by sending packages back and forth. That only works through personal contact. I don't need to explain to you how to book a flight and hotels now. Booking flights, booking hotels, you do all of that in China, ideally, through trip.com. There you'll get the best deals and the easiest way to get from A to B, no matter where you are. Because trip.com isn't just for booking flights and hotels. You can also book your train tickets through it. For example, if you want to go from Guangzhou to Hong Kong, which I highly recommend because there are also fantastic trade fairs in Hong Kong that you definitely shouldn't miss if you're already in Asia. And the train ride from Guangzhou to Hong Kong takes about, depending on which train you catch, up to 2 hours. You get on the train in Guangzhou and ride straight through, well, okay, there are 2 stops, but basically straight into Hong Kong. And you book this train ticket through trip.com. And just to wrap up this topic, when you book a train ticket, you don't get a physical ticket because your ID, your passport, is your ticket. It's a bit different from how it works over in Europe because they have scanners there. You just place your passport on the scanner at the station and you're let in based on your passport. No ticket is needed and there are no cards that you could forget or lose. Everything is handled very smoothly through the app, the trip.com app, and your ID. What you also need, of course, is internet access. A lot of people ask me how I handle Wi-Fi on my phone. Let me give you a tip. There are 2 things you absolutely must do before you go to China, really before you leave for China. If you wait until you're already there, it's too late, you won't have a chance anymore. First, you need to get yourself an eSIM. You can do this through several providers. I've included links to a few of them in the video description, and that's where you can get an eSIM. This means you need a phone that supports a SIM, you scan the QR code, and you'll immediately have a plan for China. And what else you need is a VPN. Not necessarily for the eSIM itself, because the eSIM uses a foreign provider and there are no restrictions there. But if you log into the internet through a hotel network and suddenly can't access Google anymore, that's not a problem with Google or the hotel network. That's because it's been blocked by China. Google and China have a complicated relationship, and that's why these services aren't accessible through the hotel network. But you can access them if you use a VPN. Only 2 VPNs are worth mentioning, but really, only Astral is reliable. Find the link in the description below to download it. Do this in Germany or elsewhere, just not in China, as it won't work there. By then it's too late. Once you've installed Astral, everything's fine and you can use the VPN to reconnect to your Google services. What you'll also need is a payment method app, because there are still many people who actually show up there with cash. Yes, in theory, you can still actually pay with bills. In practice, it's almost impossible because you won't get any change. There's basically no cash in real life in China anymore. Everything is handled through apps. The easiest method for you is Alipay. You can download it. You can register and link your credit card. With that, you can pay for everything in restaurants using a QR code. Then you can use Didi. Didi is basically the Chinese version of Uber. You can use it to call a taxi. And you can even buy tickets for the metro, that is the subway, through it. I can only recommend it to everyone. It's super easy and really the only way to stay mobile in China. And now, a personal note. Please don't behave like a stereotypical German abroad, because you also damage my reputation when I'm there and say I'm German, and maybe you were there the day before yesterday and completely misbehaved. Of course, that's embarrassing for me too. I think in Germany that's called second-hand embarrassment. There's actually no translation for that word, because it only exists in Germany. Okay, so you behave yourself. You're not loud, you don't play loud music on the metro or anything like that. You just behave like a normal person, or like the locals do. You wait your turn, you don't push ahead in line. You don't talk about politics, you don't publicly criticize anything. That's unacceptable, especially regarding the government. If you start doing that, you should just go home, or better yet, don't come here at all if that's your plan. Stay calm, respectful, and keep a low profile. Okay? If you want to lose your temper, feel free to do that in Germany at some demonstration or wherever, but please not in China. Oh, and one more thing that most people don't know. In China, tipping is completely uncommon. Don't leave a tip. Please don't mess up the prices for us. Okay? So no tipping. It's totally normal to pay exactly what's on the bill. Get yourself a compatible phone with eSIM, purchase the eSIM in Europe, and install the Astral VPN. The link, as I said, is in the video description. In Europe, if you're in China, it's too late. You won't be able to download it anymore. Make sure you have all addresses in China written in Chinese as well, so you can always show people where you want to go. Otherwise, I can already promise you, you'll be lost. The Canton Fair isn't a must. It's a multiplier for your existing business. If you're a newcomer and just starting out in e-commerce, then there's no need for you to go there. It's a waste of your time and money. Because China rewards structure and punishes naivety. And with that in mind, I wish you all the best if you decide to go to the Canton Fair. Maybe we'll meet there. Every year, we at Asiapro have our regular merchants meetup. You'll find the link in the video description, and I hope to see you in the next video. If you want to make sure you don't miss anything, you can subscribe to the channel now. Take care, see you then. Bye.